Hello, everybody. Let me make sure we're good. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's hobby live stream. I decided ultimately, because I don't have the primer that I need for my Battletech miniatures, that we're going to keep working on my orcs today. So, welcome to the... Sorry, I'm coughing a little bit. There we go. I, swallowed a little bit of spit just before we got started, choked myself, and I was trying to recover before I went live. Thought I was fine. Clearly I wasn't. I'm still stumbling from it. But it's okay. We're fine now. Hello, everybody. Valhalla Ice, Imone Frey, and Charlie, welcome to the stream. It's lovely to see you all here. I hope you're all having a good Friday. It's Friday. Yes, right? Yes, my calendar, my phone tells me it's Friday. Let's work on some orcs. I have these boys. Last time, we were going to paint their jackets, but we didn't get to it. Today, we're going to do it. And I think I'm going to be brave, and I'm going to try the Druchii Violet. Is that what this is? Sorry, Dreadful Visage. I can't remember color names, mostly because they use bullshit to describe them instead of just normal purple color tones. Like, I would call this dusky gray, dusky purple, rather than Dreadful Visage. I mean, I get it. I understand the image that conjures, but, like, come on, people. Imone Frey. Okay, sorry. My apologies. I am terrible with pronunciations, so if I screw up your name, please don't take it personally. It is just me being terrible at being able to pronounce things, but I try really hard. I'm sorry. Hello, Michael and Toy Painter and Tyler. Hello. Welcome. Okay. Purple. We're gonna dive right into it, and I'm gonna commit. Do I want to do it in purple? I'm like waffling immediately. I gotta just do it. We're going in. If I don't like it, what I can do is I can put a shade over top of it, or I can just end up repainting it. It is thin enough that I could just repaint it. It would be fine. Hopefully I end up liking this. I'm going to start from the bottom, and basically we're going to do the bottom portion of the jacket vest. Would it still be called a trench coat? Even if it didn't have, like, sleeves? Is it just a sleeveless trench coat? I feel like this orc is wearing a trench coat, now that I look at it more properly. Because it's got, like, it's got a big collar, like, especially in comparison to this boy. Like, this boy, I would almost say, has, like, a tabard on. Because he's got, like, the loincloth portion comes down on both sides. And I do think it might be attached to a shirt. You guys can tell me whether or not you think I should paint this portion the same as this, or if I should do it as a separate color. But to me, they kind of look like they might be the same fabric, or at least part of the same material. But this guy is, like, actually wearing a full-on, I think, trench coat. But I don't know if it still technically would be a trench coat if it didn't have sleeves. I don't know what defines a trench coat as a trench coat, other than the length and the collar. That's what I always thought defined it, but... You're on fire! Oh, I get it. Excellent. Well, I am very glad that I work out as good background noise for you. If I could speak properly, it might sound even better. Good morning! How early in the morning? Wow, my, throat... Hold on, I'm gonna get some water. Clearly, it's getting cold here, and I went to the gym this morning, and so my nose has been a little bit runny, ever since, and I don't think I'm sick or anything. I just think I'm weirdly phlegmy today. So I do apologize if I'm, clearing my throat a bunch, but I felt a bit phlegmy today. Oh my god, I should totally make a killer can out of a Mountain Dew can. That would be amazing and very, very appropriate for me. You have no idea. I mean, you probably do. I, almost always have a Mountain Dew on stream because... it's my soda of choice. Don't judge me. I mean, you can judge me if you really want to, but I realized I could do a test on the inside of the cloak and see if I like the way that this looks. The problem is I'm not seeing it against his skin on this side, but at least it kind of gives me an idea. I think it's going to be fine. He'll be different. He'll be a little sneaky. I don't know how you sneak around with a giant gun like this, but you know what? He figured it out. I mean, really, how does a 7-foot-tall space marine sneak around too, for that matter? It's just the way of the 41st millennium, I guess. Yeah, I think it's going to need a couple of coats, but I think this will work out. Woo! Painting time! Heck yeah! Welcome to the stream, Skatercast. Lovely to have you here. Working on some orcs again today. Getting their jackets and stuff painted up. Alright. I think this is looking pretty good, actually. It definitely, I think, is going to need a second coat. Because it's doing the same thing the Aethermatic Blue did on the other guy's outfit, where it was a little bit more transparent than I want. But it's giving a good foundation, and we can always layer it up. This will also allow me to not make it so heavy in the recesses immediately, and make it kind of blotchy. Because I do find sometimes I have that problem of where I glob paint on in the hopes that the pigment will stick, especially with these thinner ones. And then I end up making it look a little goopy in a way that I don't like. I think that might be why my other guy's jacket for a little bit was more shiny than normal. Although it has faded now. I think it might have just been still wet. Or more wet than I realized, even though it felt very dry to me. Anybody got any fun plans for the weekend? It is Halloween weekend after all. I believe tomorrow is like the trick-or-treating event in my neighborhood, so I may have to run out to the store and get like one more packet of full-size candies for the kids. I think there's a lot more kids in the neighborhood now. That's why I'm worried. Like before, the amount that I got, I think would have sufficed. But I think there's a lot more kids now in the neighborhood, so I don't want anybody to feel like they got left out. Alright, there we go. Okay, yeah, it's definitely going to need multiple coats. It's very pale looking right now. But I am liking the look. It's just very, very soft. Alright, I am going to let that dry before I do anything else. Like, I don't even want to do the upper portion because I don't want to be twisting it and moving the paint around as it's drying and get weird streaks. Because I've found that can sometimes happen with these thinner colors as well. Just a little weird thing about contrast paint sometimes. You're gonna build some Lego? What kind of Lego? Is it like, are you gonna build some like spooky themed Lego? Or is it just like you picked up the Venator and you're building that? Ooh, the Omen, nice. I love... Are you watching the classic or the remake for the Omen? Because isn't there like, there's a couple versions of it. I do love Damien in the Omen though. Such a cute kid. Ooh, a charity 40K tournament. That sounds awesome. Is it spooky themed? Like, is the charity tournament? Wow, I can't say words today. Is it going to be spooky themed, or is it just like standard sort of run of the mill 40K themed? The classic version? Nice. Nice. Oh, that sounds awesome. Dude, I wish 40K was something that Lego would connect with, because there are so many things that I think would look amazing sculpted out of Lego. And a one of their cathedrals, 100%. I bet it looks amazing. I've seen mocks of a greater demon of Nurgle, like a great unclean one, basically, in Lego, which looked really, really cool. I've seen some dreadnoughts, and I've seen some people I've seen have made like minifigs versions of like Space Marines and other characters, which is really cool. That is something I want to explore at some point in the future. All right, for this other guy, what color should I use for him? I'm almost leaning orange. I'm almost leaning orange. Yes. And I think, where's my Gryph-hound? There it is. And I think I'm gonna do the loincloth a different color. I don't know, what do you guys think? Should I do his butt flap the same color as his vest? I think, oh, you know what? Yeah, no, I'm going to, actually. It's the same piece of material. Okay. The answer is yes. Oh! That sounds so fun, Andy. The Sarah Games, welcome! Well, I hope that you can handle listening to the stream. I hope it's not too bad. We're working on some orcs today, talking about what we're doing for the weekend, because it is spooky season. It's Halloween's right around the corner, and I assume a lot of people are going to end up doing things on this weekend rather than on Tuesday because, you know, work and stuff, which is, bleh, who likes that? But the weekend should be fun, and it seems like people are doing a lot of fun things. A lot of watching spooky films, which is great. That's like one of my favorite things to do during the season. All right. Let's start working on him, and we're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to work on the bottom portion first, and then... Actually, okay, hold on. Wait, is it actually part of it? I don't know. We're going to just make it part of it. You know, I've only think I've seen one of the Constantine films. What's your guys' favorite, like, just kind of ridiculously bad horror film that you really like to watch during the holiday season? For me, I used to watch Ghost Ship fairly regularly. And also, there was that one, and then what was it called? It was like, it had to do with the Zodiac, but you were in like this glass house, and all of the ghosts were like dark Zodiac versions. So they were all like murdered horribly, or like were murderers themselves, etc. And I can't remember, like 13 Ghosts, is that what it's called? It might have been 13 Ghosts. But gosh darn, they're really bad, but they're really good. I really love them. How dare you say Hocus Pocus is a bad Halloween film? How dare you? How dare you? We do not speak ill of Hocus Pocus. You can speak ill of Hocus Pocus 2. That one I mean, it still has Bette Midler in it, so I feel like you really can't speak ill of it still, but I will forgive that one a little bit more because I haven't seen that one yet because I'm afraid. But, like, the first one, I know it's very problematic, but I do love it so much. It's such a good movie. But you're right, it is kind of camp, isn't it? 13 goes. Okay, good. I'm glad I was right about it, because it's been so long since I've watched it, but I love the stupid, like, dark Zodiac characters in that film, like, the ghosts, and, like, so stupid. It was great. Also, the nanny, by far one of the best characters in there. So glad she survived. Spoilers, I guess. I don't know if I know that one, Mark. Oh, Tyler, are you watching, like, Us as in, oh, no, wait, sorry. I'm thinking of a different film. I was thinking of It Follows. I don't know why Us made me think of It Follows, but, like, because I don't think they're actually remotely related in horror context. It Follows is another really good horror film. I used to go to, like, Walmart and get there was, like, a bin that they'd have, and a lot of times there were these, like, specific types of horror films, like these collection of horror films that they'd put out, and I can't remember what the branding was off the top of my head. I think I still have some of them in my collection, but I, like, never look at my DVD collection anymore because I don't watch DVDs anymore because I always just, stream everything. But there was a really cool vampire film in this collection that at first I would not have, like, actually pegged as a vampire film. And that was one of the reasons I ended up really liking it. It was called The Hamiltons, and I really liked it. Oh, From Beyond and Reanimator are both good. Yes, you're right. I don't know if I've seen Cube. Yeah, it was basically one of those. It was one of those, like, here's 30 movies. A lot of them were, like, classics, so, like, that's how, like, I actually think that's how I saw some of the older, like, black and white, like, monster flicks, was via one of these DVD sets. But I also got to see, like, a bunch of, like, just sort of indie smaller horror creators doing stuff, and that was really cool. Oh, you know what I should watch? I should watch the on Disney Plus, they had that black and white, like, Wolfman special that they did. Like, it was I think it was like either one, like, kind of long episode or like 3 parts or something like that. And it was really good, and it's a really good horror, just, or fun spooky movie, or spooky little thing to watch. It's not really a movie. It is a series. What if they're gonna do more of that? I need to look that up. And we've got some nasty pooling happening next to the blade, so I'm just gonna clean that up. And then I'm gonna figure out how I delicately get in here. Okay, that, not so bad. Alright. He is looking good. I imagine that our other friend... Yeah, he's pretty much dry, but not fully dry. Yeah, especially not on the underside. Okay, it's not a problem. Our orange boy is actually drying a lot faster. Werewolf by Night! Yes, that was what it was. Oh, it's a Canadian horror movie. Very cool. Is it like... Is it more of a like you are in a cube-like room and it's kind of like a psychological horror in that way kind of movie, or is the cube more like a monster a la, not this specifically, but like a gelatinous cube type creature, but that like maybe goes after you a little bit more aggressively than a gelatinous cube actually does in D&D? Is it that kind of horror movie? Yeah, that's what it was. It was the Hammer House of Horror. That's right. Yes, yes, yes. That was exactly what the collection was. Thank you, Michael. Hello, Go For a Painting. Welcome. That sounds awesome. I'll have to look that up. That sounds really cool. I do love those kinds of horror flicks, so that is fun. I like the psychological stuff. Like I'm into some of the slasher slash like more bloody horror as well, but my preferred stuff is either supernatural or psychological. I like that stuff a lot more. I love the idea of Squid Games meets Saw. That sounds awesome. Saw, like, see, Saw is one of those ones where I enjoyed them to a point, and then they just got ridiculous. What is especially great about those films, though, is the spin-off games that they made that then Scary Game Squad, no, was it Scary Game Squad that played it? It might have just been Gerard and, like, the crew. It may not have specifically been Scary Game Squad, but it may have been them. I don't remember specifically, but, like, if you look up The Completionist, he played it with his buds, and oh my god, is it an awful game, but it's also funny, and it's so bad. He is pretty awesome as Dracula, I will give you, absolutely. I mean, Christopher Lee is just amazing at all things that he's been in, let's be honest. It's Christopher Lee. He's epic. Ah, okay. Ginger Snaps is such a good series. I love Ginger Snaps. Such a good one. Oh, and I haven't watched Ginger Snaps in ages. You know what I also haven't watched in ages, but it's just like thinking of Ginger Snaps reminds me of like just like classic um horror that I loved like as a child, and like Lost Boys. I haven't watched Lost Boys in ages, but holy shit, do I love those vampire bitches. Ugh, so fucking good. Yes, absolutely. I completely agree, Sarah. All right, let's keep painting. Let's keep painting. I do want to actually do a second layer of the orange on his bottom before we move on to the top, but I think we'll be able to immediately flip to the top. This one is, I'm a little less worried about the paint sliding around. Let's glaze this a bit. I don't want to make it too heavy, but I feel like we could get a little bit more depth to this color. There we go. That's more of the pumpkin-y orange color tone that I was looking for. Please don't dry too pale again. Okay, so that looks decent.
You have a container that I can put Lego bits in?
They're underneath the No, they're underneath the cabinet in the kitchen.
Got it.
Yeah. There we go. Okay, that's looking good. Now let's do the front a bit more. Happy Friday, Ronald. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Lovely to have you here. It's true. Alright, let's get a little bit more. How did I, which angle did I take? I think it was this. Yep. Okay, that is looking better. It's more orangey now. He looks like a pumpkin. And that's what I wanted. Oh, you're dog sitting. Very cool. Your cat is all meh. But how are the dogs doing at least? Are they behaving, being cute and fluffy? With little tails a wagging? I don't know why I closed that. I need this color still. What am I doing? Angela, pay attention. Okay, I think we're gonna start here. There we go. I'm not gonna forget to do the belt loops this time. I always do that. Like, every single bloody time I have ever painted a miniature that has a belt that loops into, like, whatever cloth is beneath it, like pants or whatever, like, you know, just the normal process, I never, ever remember to paint them until afterwards, and I go, oh, right, that's part of the pants, and then I feel really dumb, so I did it this time. Yay! We're making progress. We're correcting terrible behavior. Aw, good. One of my cats, like, if I ever did dog sitting, I think one of my cats would get really into it. Like, Jack would get really into it, but Kita, the girl, she would be like, nope, 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 and she'd run away. It was like having an unknown animal in our place would just cause her such anxiety. I'm doing this in portions, by the way, you might be noticing. I'm basically going up until where it might intersect with something that isn't part of that color anymore. That way, I'm less likely to forget to connect areas of paint and have splotchiness, which I know is sometimes a complaint or concern when working with these types of paints, whether it's speed paint or contrast or whatever. Occasionally, there's just like an unevenness that can happen, especially if the paint is dried and then you come back to it but you didn't finish it or whatever and connect it while it was still wet. And this just sort of helps prevent that from happening because you're basically limiting what you need to paint into smaller batches, if that makes sense. All right, that's looking pretty good. Let it settle for a moment before we start spinning them around too much. Actually, let's check. Is our purple guy finally dried? Hey! Alright, the underside still is a little wet, but I think we can work with that. I think we can work with it. Hello, Ryu. Welcome to the stream. My cats are both around the 10 to like 12 pound range or so. They're like a quarter Maine Coon, I'm pretty sure. I don't have like official documentation of that because they're both Humane Society cats. But they both have the larger ears, kind of like Maine Coons. They just don't have quite as much tufts on them, which is why I think they're only like partially. Or maybe like some breed that's developed based on Maine Coons, because they're still larger cats. Like they're long. Like I can spread the boy out to like this, and that's not even stretching him. And he takes up my like entire torso. So they're big cats, but I've made sure to make them lose weight because both of them were like basically told that they were too chonky by the vet, and they're older. So Jack is, I want to say 15 or 16 now, and I think Kita is either 14 or 15 depending on like how old Jack is, because they're about a year apart, give or take. And so they're both a little bit on the older side. So we just want we wanted to get their health back under control. Ryu, that's awesome! Congratulations on making your painting video. That is quite the achievement. It takes a lot of work to put those together, so congratulations. Oh man, I totally get that. Like, that's the thing, is like, they get, you know, unfortunately, like, the girl cat, I think, has a little bit of hip problems. Like, she hasn't officially been diagnosed with this, but I'm pretty sure she has some, like, she doesn't like to jump as much, and she doesn't really like to run around for a long period of time, and she walks downstairs kind of funny, in my opinion. So I think she might have a little bit of, like, hip pain. And because of that, when she got heavier, or when she was heavier, she really did not want to move around, because I think she was just carrying around too much weight on her hips. But since she's lost weight, she's been a lot more active. And, like, Jack, oh my god, he was running around so much yesterday. It was so nice to see. Just because he's sometimes older and a lot like more lazy than she is occasionally. Like he'll sleep sometimes a little bit more than she does. Not in like a unhealthy amount of way or whatever, but like it's just something that we've noticed is a difference in how they're aging. But Jack is also like missing an organ, so I don't blame him for being a little bit more tired. But yeah, so like it was nice to see him running around like super a lot. Yeah, this is definitely going to take multiple coats, that's for sure. But that's okay. So I think it'll look pretty good once we're done. Probably not forget the underside of the jacket. Like not the part that I painted already, but like this edge. Saying Edge made me think of how everybody's been struggling to call Adam Copeland whenever they talk about him in like news and stuff. Or I think they probably a little bit better about it now, but there was definitely a time where like all the wrestling people were just like, it's really hard not to just call him Edge still. Because for those of you that don't follow wrestling, Edge, you know, of Edge and Christian, Edge, more importantly, of the Brood, the rated R superstar has come to AEW, and I'm actually really enjoying so far the plot between him and Christian, because Christian's also in AEW. For those of you that don't follow wrestling, and they have not teamed back up yet. Christian's actually doing a real good heel like shtick right now, and I'm loving it. All right, let that dry again, and we'll move on to some more orange. Oh, well, I'm so glad to hear that. There's plenty, like, I still do a lot of learning when it comes to making content. So never stop learning. Always be open to, like, trying new things or learning new techniques, because more than likely, like, the social media landscape space is constantly changing. What the algorithm wants to see or doesn't want to see or wants you to do or doesn't want you to do is always going to be changing. So just be prepared for that, have fun with it, and just try to go with the flow. I mean, a Maine Coon is basically dog, like small dog size, so I could see how that could be a potential cat option for you if you wanted to venture into the feline, uh, becoming a cat person, I guess. Oh yeah, no, I would never, I always watch all of my videos before they get uploaded, to check for any kind of, like, glaring errors or that kind of thing. I would always recommend watching your video after it's rendered before you upload it. I mean, you can technically, like, if you wanted to, if you're confident in it, you can upload it while you're watching it. But until you're confident with that, you've, like, yeah, you nailed it or whatever, you don't think you made any mistakes, I would always, 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 always watch your videos before they go out. Even then, you'll still probably miss things. I've watched plenty of, like, big name, like, way bigger than me YouTubers, like, have errors in their content. I've even seen some of them, like, pull their videos down within, like, the first, like, 30 minutes because I think it got called out, and they realized it, corrected it, and re-uploaded it. Which is terrifying to do sometimes because it can really hurt, like, how the algorithm then treats that re-upload. But sometimes you gotta fix things. So watch your stuff before you upload it. Just gives you a better opportunity to catch those kinds of things. All right, we're going well so far on this other side. Trying to be careful on the edges, but also don't want to miss them. Thank goodness for these backpacks. It really does make it easier to hold this guy as I rotate him around to be able to paint his outfit. Alright, let's get a little bit more paint on my palette. It's getting a little bit light. Alright, I think we've got cool. Both sides painted. There's a little bit. There we go. Took care of that. Smooth that over a smidge. Make sure to get that edge. Okay, cool. Alrighty. Looking good. Oh, yeah, sure. Whoop. How's that? Better? Well, awesome. I hope you are enjoying making the Warhammer content. Hello.
Hey, just want to see how they're doing.
They're doing well. I've got some purple started on his jacket for my minty boy.
Cool.
And then we're doing orange on my brighter boy.
That pops well.
Yeah. I think what I'm going to end up doing is I want to do one more layer of the actual base color tone. And then I think I might take the purple shade, like the Juchi Violet, and do that to deepen it a little bit, just to add a little bit more oomph to some of the shadows. Because it's kind of having the same problem. Like, I really like it as a foundation, but I'm having the same problem I did with the flesh tone when it was just the Gut Ripper, where it was, like, not quite deep enough.
So some of the orcs I painted, because a lot of their clothing is made of, like, pieces of other cloth.
Yeah,
like,
you did like leathers and stuff.
Well, sometimes what I would do also is, like, I'd put one coat down like that, and then I would do a wash of brown on one side, and a wash of yellow, or if I want to go bold blue, you know, something like that. So it's kind of implied that, like, they sewed a bunch of cloth together, and then they chucked it into the dye bin.
I like that. I like that. I might do that. I might do Reichland flesh shade potentially on this to, like, give it that leathery feel. So, like, it looks like he dyed it purple, but it was originally brown leather. That's a good idea.
Cool.
Nice. Are those larger dogs, or are those, like, medium-sized dogs? I'm not super familiar with, like... I've only had one dog in my life, and that was when I was a kid. And, then by the time I was in college, she had passed. And she was never really, like, my pet. It was my sister's pet. I will let him know that you guys said hello. And she was a black lab German short hair mix. Very cute, medium size. I wouldn't say she was like a big dog, but she was definitely like, I mean, she was big compared to us as children. But she wasn't like gigantic in any sense of the word. But I don't know, is a Jack Russell or a... I don't know what a staffy is. I don't think I've heard of that one. Are those, like, bigger than a black lab? Or are they larger or same size? Like, would they be the equivalent size? Alright, let's get more orange out, and we're gonna do the part that I've been dreading on his jacket, the front. Okay, that side honestly was the easier side, so now we go on to the slightly more difficult side. Let's just do the back here first. Just to be done with it, and we don't get that splotchiness that I was talking about. I need a smidge more water in that brush. There we go. That's flowing better. Okay, not so bad so far. Did I get all the way down? I did not. That's what I was worried about. I'm really trying not to get too much orange on the backside of the gun. I mean, I guess it wouldn't really matter because no one's going to see it. But I would know it's there. And the shame would be too great. I'm kidding. It actually would be fine. This is the challenge. Don't get it on his flesh, please. Don't get it on his flesh, please. Maybe? Oh my god, please. Bottles. And their weird holes. Get in there. Paint. There we go. Jeez. Okay. It's done. And honestly, I think it looks pretty good. I think we're looking pretty swell. Which means we have this boy now to work on. Got it. Okay. See, me, I am a medium size and up kind of dog person. Not a huge dog person in general. Like, I definitely prefer cats over dogs. But when I do like dogs, I want them to be larger. I think I just want them to be very size different from a cat. And I think that's partially why I don't always enjoy smaller dogs. Like, there are some cute smaller dogs, don't get me wrong. There are definitely some cute smaller dogs out there. But, like, if I want something that's small, I just get something that's more independent, like a cat. Okay, I think we're looking good on here. Let's go ahead and start getting some purple on the upper portion. And then we'll decide if I want to do another layer. What I'm thinking I might do, because I do like Chaos Cultist's suggestion of doing a brown tone as like a glaze over top of it to make it look a bit more leathery. And like they just toss it in some dye. So I think I might do that. And then put one more layer of the purple over top of that to like refresh the dye color tone. But I want to... We're going to do the other section first. Before we make that decision. Because I'm waffling between the two. Oh, also, I forgot to paint, apparently, this section. And the fracking belt loops. Let's do the belt loops now. I think for the actual leathers on him, the one, like his belt and stuff, I think I'm gonna use Dark Oath. I think the reddish tone will be really nice. Alright, let's get started on the jacket. On his upper body. Oh, do I have a belt loop there? Sick. Okay, that breaks it up a little bit more. That's nice. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, Amores102. There we go. I think that is a fully covered first coating. Let's go and just do the inside of the collar here since I can. Okay, that's fine. All right. And then I want to spread some of this around a little bit. Do I want to do a second? I'm going to do... Okay, let's do a test on the underside. Where is... I forgot about some of these newer shades. This one might be worth using on our orange guy, just to help emphasize it a little bit more, but we might want to actually do brown on him too. Yeah, actually, I'm going to do brown on him as well, but I'm going to use... What is the name of that brown? Not Reikland's Flesh Shade. Agras. Earth Shade. Where is mine? There it is. And then I do want Reikland's for my purple guy. Will this work well? Is this the best color for this? What other color? A Seraphim Sepia? No, that's going to be too yellow, and I think we'll start to make the whole thing too brown, actually brown, because they'll mix. Yeah, I think Reikland's is the best option. Hello, Shrek. Welcome to the stream. All right, let's do this Reikland Flesh Shade test, rather, on the other side here. All right. Sorry, I got that a little too watery, and then I ended up pulling up all of my paint. So we're gonna do that again. Again. You know what? I think it worked. I think it looked fine. We just need to water it down. Basically, I need it to be thin because it will really settle into the purple. But I do think we can do a purple wash over top of this again afterwards, and without him ending up looking too brown. Oh, he's not. I'm gonna hold off. He's not fully dry, and I got a little bit of paint back down into the lower half when I was doing the last section. So instead, we will close our purple and our Reikland's Flesh Shade. Come over here to Aggrass, and we'll do this one. Ooh, nice. I would definitely, I mean, I like the Leviathan box set. I think, ooh, this has not been opened yet. Hold on, let me find my opened one. I like the Leviathan box set. I think it is a really, honestly, good set. Here's my opens. Is it out here? Where is my Flesh Shade? Seraphim, technical, ah, well, because that was put in the wrong spot. That's what happened there. Still, Cryptic Overshade, Tragor, Rage Shade. What even is that? I'm gonna investigate. I haven't used that one yet. So many Aggrath Earth Shades. Maybe that is my Reikland Flesh Shade, and I just hadn't... Where did I put it? I think I'm losing my mind. I don't know where I put my bottle that I just had. It's literally taller than the... Oh, it's in front of my face. I don't know what is happening to my brain. But something I just tried to open was not actually opened yet. Was it the Seraphim? Oh, it was the Seraphim. That's why my brain had like a fart. Okay. Everybody, we're fine. I just lost my mind briefly for a second. Is this one of my open ones? Okay, this is one of my open ones. Are you a purple? This might be the perfect color for our jacket, actually. That might be the perfect color for our jacket. For now, we're going to use Aggrass on... Are you so bubbly? I'm mildly concerned about the bubbliness of that. But we're going to use that on our orange fella. Okay, so focus now. Aw, yeah. I love what this is doing. Can I show you this portion? Possibly. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and start on the upper portion. But I'm going to thin it a smidge just because the bottom is going to get a little dirtier. It's closer to the dirt. Getting muddy, right? Top upper part should not be quite as dirty, but I still want it to have a little bit of that brown depth that we're getting in the shadows now. Alright, that is good on that side. Let's do this side. That is looking spectacular. Now it's just the back. When you say that you're using, like, are you just using standard artist paints, like artist acrylic paints? And is that what you mean by, like, oil paints? Or do you mean you're actually using oil paints? Because I've worked with both. Because of my background in fine arts in college, I had a couple of classes that were just, like, straight up painting classes. And one of them required me to use oils for a little while, and one of them, well, the majority of it was mostly acrylic, but they did have us do some stuff in oil painting as well. So are you saying that you have, like, you just have, like, for example, like, you're getting this kind of paint tube? Because, like, for example, this is just a standard, like, artist acrylic, quote-unquote, that you can get from just a normal art supply store. It's a kind of an expensive brand because Golden's paints aren't cheap. Which, by the way, this is something that always makes me... Okay, you're using artist acrylic paint. Cool. Yeah, no, working with artist acrylic paint is great, especially on terrain. But even on miniatures. You have to thin it down a little bit more than you may be used to if you go from working with a lot of miniature paints and then move into, like, traditional artist acrylics. But even then, it's not that much different than what you have to do already with, like, honestly, the army painters, like, old line before they started boasting about this new War Paints Fanatic stuff that they have going on. Like, the current army painter war paints, to me, behave a lot like traditional acrylic paints because, I mean, miniature paint is just traditional acrylic paint in smaller amounts. And weirder names because they hate us. So you can absolutely use standard acrylic paints like that you would on canvas on your miniatures. You just have to be a little bit, like, careful about the thickness because it will, like, that the paint that it comes out of the tube, because there's so much more in it, and it's a lot more pigmented, in my opinion, than sometimes even other miniature paint is. You can have the problem if you don't thin it well enough, and this is why I don't use it, even though you can get a lot more of it and have it last a lot longer sometimes than the miniature ones, but I also make my miniature paints last a really long time. The main reason I don't use it is because I am very bad about properly thinning my traditional paints down. And so I would end up with those like classic from the old days when you would see people have like the really gooped on painted like space marines where it just like their faces were warped because there was just so many paint layers on there. That's what mine would end up looking like because I'm bad about layering things and the paint would all just end up way too thick. Like way too thick. But yeah, if you guys, especially if you are somebody who uses like a wet palette a lot, and you're really comfortable with that and you're very confident with your ability to thin your paints, I would really encourage you to look at like just going to an art supply store, perusing the acrylic paints section and seeing what you might find because frankly, some of the base colors, especially if you're like an ultramarine player, ultramarine blue is a real color. Like that's one of the one colors that they've actually named properly because ultramarine blue is actually just a color. It's really funny too because ultramarine blue contrast paint is not actually ultramarine blue in like the paint world. But it is a real color. So you can get that. And then your Space Marines will be literally in ultramarine blue and it'll be glorious. Imagine. Imagine the glory. You'll do Gilliman proud. What I'm saying is it possibly could save you a bunch. Because while the acrylic paints can sometimes, depending on what brand you're buying, be a little, like, pricier than, say, buying a bottle of Vallejo or Army Painter or Citadel even, they're still up there in price. That's why artists are constantly complaining about being broke, because they spend all their money on their supplies, and their supplies are not cheap. I remember the days in college when it wasn't cheap. Nice. Yeah, no, they make really nice, like, starter sets that would be great for, like, experimenting with using those and getting comfortable with them on your miniatures. Because, like I said, it's the same paint. Like, the minutia of the mixing agents might be variable, of course, because they do have proprietary combinations of medium to pigment, etc., to the binding agent, etc. But they're all roughly the same. Because they're all still acrylic paint, and therefore you can use it on whatever. Oh yeah, yeah, no, you can totally use it. I mean, why not? What makes artist grade, like, it is fun. This is not like calling you out or anything specifically. It's more just like one of those things where it makes me laugh whenever people say that and they are like, oh man, I never considered that. Because to me, and this is just my bias because I went to art school and I've been around these paints for literally my entire life, I'm just like, yeah, they're the same thing. Why not use them? Like, that's why I actually have that tube of black paint. Because I rim my bases with that instead of using my other paints, because frankly, that I've had that tube since college. No, not since college. Sorry, I did buy it actually here, but I've had it for 10 years. I've had that tube of paint for 10 years, and I've used it on every single miniature that I've painted to rim the base and, like, do any, like, groundwork there whenever I needed black paints. So it's one of those things of, like, it can actually last you a really long time, and if you like the colors, and you like just having normal naming conventions for your colors, I would highly encourage it. It just saves a lot of headache sometimes. So definitely worth something like picking up and trying. It's also a good way to just cheaply get paints because, like I mentioned, a lot of those acrylic sets will have like beginners sets for getting started with acrylic paints. Well, I mean, of course they give you like canvases and like paper to paint on in those things, but you can use acrylic paints on like whatever because it's just an acrylic paint. And so yeah, put it on your miniatures. Just like I said, the main thing that I would call out when doing that is experiment with your ratios of water in the paint and what you might want the consistency looking like when it comes to applying the paint to your miniatures. Because in my experience, it comes out thicker than average. Like, even some of the, like, thicker wargaming paints that I have worked with over the years, I would still say, depending on what brand you get of these two paints, like, of the artist acrylics, it will be thicker, so you will need to thin them more. Dude, Carbon Black is so good. It is such a nice, rich, deep, like, neutral black color tone. That's why I use it on all of my bases, because I like that consistency and evenness of that black coloring. It just, so nice. Yeah, like, Carbon Black is one of my favorite blacks to use in regards to, like, standard acrylic paints. Really, really nice stuff. Okay, he's looking good. I think his jacket is done. I'm happy with how that boy's looking. This guy, however, we're not done with. We've done one layer there. We need to do the back and sides a little bit still in purple. Do another layer, and then we can start playing with some washes. And I think I'm going to try, not that. Where did I put it? Where did I put that wash that I was really excited about? Oh, it's in my hand. I literally opened it. I need this one. I'm going to use this, because I think this is like a purpley wash. Hello, Havman. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're enjoying it on your break. All right. All right, I'm just going to start with some of the unpainted stuff first, and then we'll move back into the painted stuff. That way the the one that I just painted will be able to dry, etc. You get the idea. I'm trying to be time efficient. All right, there we go. Okay, that's looking good. Do the other side. Ooh, shit. Got some nasty pooling on the underside of the arm. Let me just move that around. Alright, there we go. That's better. Alright, so that's done. Now let's get the back and the rest of his collar. There we go. Right, and then the rest of the collar. Finally, we'll do the second layer on the bottom half. And then I think after that, I am going to take probably a 15-minute break to get myself a little bit of lunch. I am feeling mildly hungry. And then when we come back from that, I will probably do the first layer of wash on the bottom half of his outfit. And we'll do like a second layer of this blue-gray on the front. All right, yeah, that is looking good. I'm happy with where we're at. I'm going to leave the slightly spooky music on for you so that you're not having something too repetitive to listen to while I'm gone for 15 minutes. But it is currently 12:17, so expect me back at 12:30, essentially. And I'm going to just grab some lunch real quick, and then we'll be very, very back. Mercarion, the painting is going very well. I am going to be stepping away for just a moment because I'm going to go grab some lunch. But don't worry, I'll be back in 15 minutes. The music will be left on for you guys, so you can just leave the stream open and chill to some cool vibes and get some other stuff done in the meantime. And then I will be back at 12:30 precisely. See you guys in about 15 minutes. Hello! I have returned. I gotta tell you, the difference in temperature between my hobby room and like my living room, simply because of how tall the fucking ceiling is in my living room, which I'm not really complaining about specifically, but like it gets so cold in that room. And it's so much warmer in here. Like it's ridiculous. Like the temperature difference is genuine, like especially in the this season, because we're starting to finally get some cold weather, which has been very nice, I will admit. But it also is cold. And I end up having to bundle a lot. All right, let's get back to painting our orc. I think we're looking pretty even. I want to do one more coat of purple before we do the wash on the top. It's just looking a little bit softer than what I did in the bottom. And I don't know if that's simply just because the bottom has a bunch more, like, recesses for the paint to sort of pool into and get a deeper color tone. But regardless, I think we're going to do at least one more pass. Yeah, that's looking more close to what we have on the bottom. All right, there we go. Let's get the collar. Oop, I completely missed either that entirely or it just really is pale. I kind of get the impression I may have missed it. Okay, it's not so bad, but it is kind of annoying. Oh! Why do I not have any music? Oh, because I turned my volume really, really low. That's why. I was sitting here and I was talking and I was like, why do I not hear anything? It really is super cold right now in the Bay Area. I completely agree. Gotten very, very cold suddenly. I mean, again, I'm not really complaining because October is normally very warm, all things considered, for this area. So I'm actually kind of happy that it's colder because it makes it feel a little bit more like Halloween season. But at the same time, I'm just like, brr. I didn't realize I needed to start pulling out the heavy jackets already. It's okay. After Halloween is over, I can start wearing all of my seasonal ugly sweaters, and I have none that actually fit Christmas, but all of them do still fit Christmas because they're technically ugly sweaters, so they fit the season and everything. But one's Halloween themed, and the other one is a 40K one. So it should... Oh, and I have a Sonic one too, actually. So all sorts of goodies. Alright, this is looking good on this side. Nice. Okay, we're gonna let that dry, and on the meantime... let's come over here. You look pretty darn good. I am going to use some tweezers to see if I can get rid of that, like, excess stuff that's sticking off you, friend. Where are my... oh, there they are. Ooh, that was an unpleasant noise. I hope you didn't hear it. Where... wait, I thought... where... I had... oh, there they are. I was looking for these. I had these sitting on one of my trays because I was using them earlier when I was doing some recording for an upcoming painting tutorial that I'm going to be putting out. And I was like, I know they're here. Where are they? And I couldn't find them. Then I found them. Everything's fine now. Ooh, are you not dry yet? Alright, that's fair. That is fair. Although, where is that piece that I needed to see if I could get rid of? It was here. There it is.
This cat is hyper.
Oh no! Is he running everywhere?
Kind of.
Are you a runner? You wanna be here? You wanna say hello to the people?
Okay, buddy, I lifted your stomach a little hard there.
I think he's fine. Yeah, so for those of you that were asking about my cat, here he is. He's a big boy. Don't.
If he's feeling sick, don't let him. Don't.
Yeah, I don't think he's feeling sick.
Okay.
I think he's just sniffing. Right? Meow. Yeah, you fluffy? He's purring. He's purring. And he says hello. Do you want to paint some orcs with me? Or do you just want to rub your head on my desk? I think he may just want to rub his cheeks on my desk. Did you do that to give yourself an idea where your highlights and shadows would be more easily with the ink pre-shade? Oh, we're at least not getting rain. Like, I've got sunny weather, thankfully. Like, it's actually quite bright out, and I've got blue skies today, which is nice, because the other couple days it's been very overcast and gray, which inevitably will put me into just a worse mood. Like, gray skies make me super down. But we have good skies today. Blue skies, which is great. Sunny, but it is cold. Hi. He's just like, hello, I am here, and you should definitely be paying attention to me and only petting me. Go for a painting, no problem. You have an absolutely wonderful weekend yourself. Hope you get up to some spooky stuff. And we will see you next time. Thanks for being here. Look at this good kitty. You're very distracting. I should be painting. Yeah? He doesn't care that he's distracting. All right, let's try to do this with him here. We'll see how we'll be able to manage. Probably not well. Like, I'm gonna just be honest. Because he'll probably nuzzle my limbs that I need for painting, but we're gonna give it a shot. We're gonna give it a good old solid try. The bottom of his outfit is done, so I want to try this Targor Rage Shade. I don't know what color this is specifically. I guess I'll do a slight. It is showing up as a. So this is it here on my paint palette. It's looking more brown on the camera than I think it actually is, but it's a nice, I would actually say it's like the perfect wash for Dreadful Visage. So I'm gonna try it. Let's do it. Let's just go for it. We're gonna go for it on the front here. I'm gonna thin it down, I guess, a little bit. I don't know how. Okay. Yeah, this is genuinely like the. I wish I had used this on my my Keeper of Secret. This would have been perfect. It would have helped me smooth everything out. Because genuinely, this just kind of feels like a step up of what I just used. Which is great, because then I can still do the wash over top of it with the brown, but this has smoothed everything else over, and then I can do maybe another wash of this over top. It's great. Oh, I wish I should have tried this color ages ago. All right, that's looking good. Let's do the underside. That makes total sense to see where all the highlights are. I get that completely. Shit. Got some on his boot. We don't want it on his boot. Okay, that's better. Now, for this section, right here. All right, cool. It's like the upper portion is dried enough, so I'm just going to keep going. Alright, that's fine. We got some pooling, but we'll just move the paint around, so I don't think it'll be too big of a deal. Alright, not bad, not bad. Alright, the collar is washed. Let's get the sleeves. Need a bit more paint, though. I have been working predominantly on these Kromlech orc miniatures that I was sent actually last year. I had gotten them started last year during last October, ran out of time, didn't finish them. Got distracted by too many other things, so I figured, you know what? We're going to come back, and we're going to finish them up, or at least get as much as we can done on them, what we have left remaining in October. And I've been really enjoying it. I have a couple others that I've been working on. I'll show you those in a second. We just finished getting this color spread around before it dries. Sorry, my hand got really shaky there for a second. And then I'll show you the other ones that I've been working on, because this is just one of them, and they're not all this color scheme. This is, like, actually my most muted boy. Everybody else is a lot brighter. But I want to try something different on this one. Have you been working on anything for October? Good. Let's just get a little bit of this pooling cleaned up all around his belt. And I think we're looking good. So we're going to let that dry fully, and then we'll do a wash of, I think, Riflins. Riflins is definitely going to be the right option for this, because I want it to have a little bit of a red tone, but not too much. Nice! You finished a knob with a banner, 10 Storm Boys, and you're working on some Temu Grot tanks. Nice! Like Temu as in like the shopping brand? I didn't know Temu made Warhammer. Am I thinking the correct thing? My wah? Sure, of course, you can absolutely hear my wah. Sorry for anybody on headphones. I guess I should have counted down or something. Apologies. I've also done some on some of my painting tutorials where I've painted orcs, so if you want to hear more of those, you can always check it out there. I'm only going to do the one, though, because it will hurt my throat over time. Alright, I'm gonna work on some of the leathers next. I don't think any of his wristbands need cleanup. No. So I'm just gonna have him have some normal, basic leather wristbands. And I think for that, I am gonna use Gorgrunta fur, because I want to do that on my other guy as well. No, wait, is this the color that I wanted, or was it Fire Slayer? No, I want Gorgrunta fur because it has a little bit of that orange. That's true, you're right. Putting all that red on there makes them go faster. But that's why the captain is specifically wearing red. He's the fastest, you see. It doesn't want to focus, hold on. There we go. So this is one of the first ones that I painted up with my Beast Snagga colors, because that's what he's meant to be part of. And, which does have a lot of, like, natural color tones, but these guys have all these really cool piratey jackets, so I just wanted to play with that fact. But the red is on him. Alright, let's do this. Do you need a little bit more paint on you? What's going on? Occasionally, I don't clean them well enough when I actually wash them. And I swear the paint just doesn't want to stick sometimes. There we go. Now it's sticking. Just is a little funky sometimes. Like I said, I really think it's because I must not have gotten to the brush on this section when I did like a nice little wash of all the resin miniatures. That's okay, though. That is okay. We can make it work. Oh, okay. So, like, not Temu as in, like, the site where you can go and, like, buy things, which I still think is technically a Chinese site. I'm gonna have to investigate this. Because I've always tried to find, like, I was really hoping I would find, like, knockoff Warhammer miniatures on, like, Wish.com. Because I thought it'd be really fun to do a video of, like, painting Wish.com Warhammer miniatures. But they don't really have any that I've been able to find. But if Temu has some, maybe that's what I'll do instead. Or if they just have, like, toy tanks, that could still fit the same vibe. Because I've painted, like, scale models. Why not try doing that? I could pair the Temu tanks to Flames of War tanks. That could be fun. Just to, like, see what the experience is like in doing the two. How different are they? Are they different at all? There we go. That's looking great. Let's do the other side. We'll need a bit more paint. I use, I I'm not using it right now just because of how many handholds that these have, but I've got the toppers to the ones that I use normally. Where's the base? I still use my Redgrass Gaming one, mostly. Yeah, here it is. So I have one of the, like, 360 Redgrass Gaming ones. So they come with these caps, which are, you know, you stick on so you can get a bunch of them. And if you like to do batch assembly, or not batch assembly. If you like to do batch painting for your units, then you can kind of set them all up on these caps and just keep using the same handle and swap between them and just have the caps there. And then they're all up off the ground. They're able to dry. You can manipulate them really well. But I like this because this cap spins because of the way that it goes on. And because of that, it means that I can rotate the miniature and really get to all the angles. And I really, really like doing that. It's just I find it very... And also, the handle itself has this nice shape that I personally find that my hand goes into quite well for gripping. So it alleviates some tension. I've honestly also used, it really kind of depends on like what your grip need is, honestly. Like I would do some research and look at your hands and it'd be like, do I think that this handle will work for my hands? Because like for me, I've got smaller hands. So this slightly smaller handle works really well for me. I have plenty of comfort holding this. And technically, I think the Chaos Cultist does too. He's never really complained about it, but I don't know. Sometimes, like, I don't know if this would be better or worse with larger hands, for example, or what. So I would do some research and like find what you think might be best for you personally. But that is what I use, and I do like it a lot. Yeah, I've also in the past used, and I actually still have them. I just got a bunch of cork pieces from, not wine bottles because I don't drink wine. But I went and got them at, I think just like a Michael's store, and I also do grip this. But again, this might be uncomfortable with larger hands because it's super small. But you could also get them in different sizes. I've also seen people use prescription pill bottles as their handles because those tend to be like a good width for some people depending on like what size of a bottle you end up getting, and the caps are pretty stable, so they're a good surface to work on. So I mean, like, there's plenty of options for what you can get, especially depending on like how much you want to spend, what your needs are specifically, like what bells and whistles you want them to have, etc. As for Halloween costumes, I think I'm going to end up going as possibly Rogue this year to the like trick-or-treating event that's going to be happening tomorrow. If not, I might end up doing my Raven cosplay because I could also do that. I have like the perfect wig for that. Whereas for Rogue, I haven't actually got the wig. I have the outfit. Like I have the cool like 1990s cartoon outfit for Rogue, but I don't have the wig yet. So I've been debating between those two predominantly for Halloween this year. Last year I went as Spider-Gwen, who was partially turning into Venom because I had that little costume. So that was fun. And I have a bunch of other things. Like I could go as a pirate if I wanted to, etc. Just lots of things I could do. I was like, what am I doing? Right. I am painting an orc. Are any of you going as anything fun for Halloween this year? Dressing up as anything cool? Or scary, perhaps? Maybe sexy? I have a cat suit that could definitely work for Baroness, but not specifically. I don't have like a Baroness explicit outfit. But I do have a catsuit that I have been told would work for it. I just don't think I have the proper accessories. I've actually not watched a huge amount of G.I. Joe. That was not one of the cartoons that I was super into growing up. And I never really watched it much when I got older. And so I don't remember what her weapon is. Doesn't she have like a specific like weapon or something like that she uses? And then she's got long black hair? I guess the purple would be fine for that, actually. So that would probably work out. Wouldn't need to get a wig for her. I want this side to be a little darker. It's looking a little pale. Alright, I think that's looking good. Oh, is she just using an SMG? Okay, that's easy enough to probably get from like a costume shop. Yeah, no, the costume that I have is Cartoon Rogue. It's like the 1997 Cartoon Rogue outfit. I'm like 90% sure. And if it's not that one, it would be the only other one that it would definitely be would be the one from oh, what was that one that they did in the 90s or no, not the 90s. It would have been the 2000, it may have been 2010s. God, I really loved this version of the show. Why can't I remember what it was called? X-Men Evolution. It would have, if it's not the 1997 one, it would be the X-Men Evolution one, because those are the only two, like, those are my favorite rogues. Those are my personal favorite rogues. Well, aside from, like, obviously comic book rogue, but I feel like the 97 costume was kind of based more off of the comic book rogue classically, so it works. I'm sure there's a Nerf equivalent to these that I could get that would very clearly make them not real guns. That's normally what I do. Alright, his bracers are painted. This guy had only one half of his bracers painted, so let's go ahead and do the other side. I believe for him I used... Actually, I think I just used snakebite leather, so let's just stick with that. Where is it? I just literally just had it. There it is. I do have a witch costume. I don't have the Hocus Pocus specific ones, and which is really funny because you would think that I would. Why am I getting a weird green? Do you guys see that? I'm getting, like, the chroma on my shirt on... Hold on. It's on this side. There. That is so weird. Why is that happening? I think my green screen... It's orange. What is going on? I don't know. Anyways, it's fine. I just noticed it on the screen when I looked over. And I was like, what the heck? Also, let me lower my blinds because I realized that the sunlight's coming in and now it looks like a nuke has, like, gone off on this side. There we go. That's better. Okay, so what was I saying? I know I was talking about paints. And then we started... Oh, right, my shirt was being weird. It's not being weird anymore. It must have been the lighting. It must be the windows. Because it's not doing it now. Like, yeah, it's not doing it anymore. So that was just... I had never seen it do that before. Because I know what it was. It was definitely because of the green screen setting, I think, on OBS for my camera. But I didn't realize it would do it with a non-green. It must have made it look green enough. Not bad, not bad. Oh, witch costumes, that's what we were talking about. But I have not actually got any of the Hocus Pocus ones, which I really should because they have short skirt versions of them now. And I've been very tempted on that. Because I really like Sarah's outfit because of obviously all the purple, but I also would love to go as Winifred. I do not have her, like, expressions to be able to pull that off, which is why I think I'd probably be best as Sarah. But God, imagine if I could do, like, her lip thing. Boop! Oh, I love that movie so much. Alright, I think we're looking good there. I'm gonna do the backpack in a different color entirely. His jacket is dry. Let's do the Reikland Flesh Shade Wash. Here we go. Andy, welcome back. Okay, let's do this. Curse my cats and their hairs. Alright, got it. Shit, there's still one on there. Hold on. Fuck, get off my miniature! There we go, I got it. Alright, we're good. We're fine. Everything's fine. This is just Reikland Flesh Shade, so if we put it over top other things, like the boots and stuff, it'll actually be fine. It'll probably add some depth to them, so we're just going to do that. It'll also make our lives easier when it comes to just hitting everything all over the butt. Alright, just did a big old glob. We're going to spread this really around. Don't want to lose too much of the purple, but we do want to kick it back so we can do another layer of it over top and really give ourselves like a dyed leather look. Also, what has happened to my music? It's just in a very quiet spot. All right, that's fine. It'll keep going here in a second. I hope. Maybe. Yes, okay, cool. There was just a very long silence. This is going well. I'm liking it. Definitely gonna want to put another layer of purple though. It has gone a bit more red than I want, but I think that'll be fine. Still quite pretty actually. I like it a lot. Alright, we need a little bit more on this side. Let's see. For a cyan, magenta, yellow, and, well, K is just black. Color palette? I mean, if you're wanting just good color tones in those, Doomfire Magenta is a really nice magenta. I do also, if you want a little bit more of a muted, it's not really magenta, it is more of a burgundy color like the namesake suggests, but it definitely leans into those purpley tones, then I would say go for, Sigvald Burgundy. Sigvald Burgundy is one of my all-time favorites of the new 2.0 line, especially. For cyan color tones, I would definitely say get Aethermatic Blue. It can be layered up into a very rich blue tone, which I will show you here in a second. Let me just finish doing, like, spreading this paint around, and then I'll show you that example, because I've used Aethermatic Blue on these orcs. I would also say Croxigor Flesh, or Skin, or something like that. I'll look up the name of it real fast here in a second, because, again, I've used it on the orcs. And so I can show you an example, but that's also a really nice, like, cyan-y color tone. As far as yellows go, my favorite yellows from the contrast line would be Ironjaw's yellow, Eondon yellow, and then Nazdrag yellow, because I think that gives you a good range. Nazdrag leans more brown and can be layered into a really nice, deep, rich brown color tone. Eondon is like a good yellow-orange and can be a very, like, mac and cheese color tone, which can be really nice for doing golds with a wash of Reikland Flesh over top of it. That creates a really nice non-metallic gold finish, at least in my opinion, and I use it all the time. What else? Oh, and then for Ironjaws, that one also can work well as a gold base coat to do a non-metallic yellow again, or non-metallic gold, but it also just works as a more, like, softer yellow. Alright, I think that actually looks bloody fantastic. I think I'm gonna do one more purple wash, but I haven't decided if I'm doing it with the original contrast color tone or if I want to do it with Dreadful Visage. So for Aethermatic Blue, the cyan color tone that I was talking about, This is my like good example. So that is the Aethermatic Blue when it's been layered several times to get a little bit more of an opaque finish, but it also comes out very, very, very translucent. So which means that it can go over top other colors and it works really well. But this is it in the pot. I don't know why it decided to suddenly not focus on it, but yeah. So this is Aethermatic Blue out of the pot. Like I said, it's very, very transparent. I like Kroxigor scales. This is the other blue. This guy's jacket is Kroxigor scales with like 2 layers. So again, a really nice sort of teal blue, like aqua color. Do I have an example of Iron Jaws? Not on these guys, but Iron Jaws I've used a lot on the channel, so you can definitely find examples of that. Hi Gavin, welcome to the stream. Oh, it's been so long since I've watched Annabelle or Christine. Both are fun movies to watch. Good choices for the season, Michael. All right. I think we're probably at a good stopping point. The next thing that I actually need to do outside of doing maybe one more wash with the purple is I need to do cleanup. So I'm probably going to just do that off camera because cleanup is really boring. And frankly, I am probably ready for a little bit of a break and everything. And I think we're going to go ahead and call it here. We've gone for about the normal 2-hour time because I took about a 15-minute break for lunch where I fed the cats and got myself some lunch. And I think we've made that up. So I think we're going to end it here. I know I've said that a few times. I'm repeating myself a lot today. It's a thing. It's just one of those, it's been one of those days. It's been one of those weeks. Oh my goodness. But we're going into Halloween weekend. I'm very much looking forward to it. I might end up watching Hocus Pocus tonight. Like, I haven't watched it yet this season. I was thinking about it for, like, this weekend, but, you know, we're basically into the weekend already, so I may end up watching it tonight, because I won't be watching it tomorrow night. But I could just watch it... I could just watch it literally on Halloween. I might do that. So, tomorrow we will still be having a stream. It'll either be... I think we're going to start... I think what we're going to do is... I was debating, but I think what I'm going to do... Because this was kind of already what I was leaning towards anyways... Is I want to play a horror game this Halloween season. I haven't played anything yet that's like horror specifically. And that's sort of a tradition on the channel a little bit. So I think we're going to end up playing a horror game tomorrow. And then on Tuesday, like on Halloween, we're not going to have a news program because I'm taking a spa day on Monday. And I just really want to, you know, fully take advantage of that, not have to do anything else during it and relax because it's been kind of a hectic, like, couple of weeks. So I'm going to take advantage of that. But because we're not doing a news, I'm going to do a little bit of an extra long stream on Halloween, which is this Tuesday. But it's not going to be a hobby stream. We're going to continue playing whatever horror game I think I pick tomorrow. And I'm leaning towards Alan Wake 2. I did not play Alan Wake 1. I've watched, like, some essays about it. So I have, like, a general idea of, like, the plot and everything. I'll probably refresh myself one more time before I play it. But I definitely am leaning towards something spoopy. My Halloween theme song is definitely Marilyn Manson's rendition of This Is Halloween from Nightmare Before Christmas. Okay, that is the Chaos Cultist. Fine, he claims that. No, actually, mine is I Put a Spell on You from Hocus Pocus. Combined with the song Sarah sings to seduce all the children into following her to their death. I also like that song a lot. But yes, Chaos Cultist is definitely the Manson version of This Is Halloween. If you've not listened to that, like if you've not listened to the album, I guess it is, that is the Nightmare Before Christmas theme songs, but done by a bunch of like heavy metal bands and other like just like hard rock bands. You should listen to it. It's great. I think all of the... I can't think of like a single song on there off the top of my head. Granted, I don't listen to all of the songs every single time, like every year or whatever, but I do recall there not being really like a bad rendition of any of the songs, so definitely worth a listen. Oh no, Sean, I'm so sorry. I know you just got here. I apologize for that, but we've been going for about like 2 hours now, so I do think I'm going to wrap up. I am really pleased with how this turned out. Is he dry? Okay, you know what? We're gonna do one thing before we go. We're gonna do one more thing before we go because he's dry. So I want to do one more coating, and I've decided I'm doing the shade. We're just gonna use the shade, and we're gonna see what this does. One more time over top this purple. I do like this, but it's not quite bringing out that, like, quite the purple I want, so I do think I'll need to go back over it with Dreadful Visage once. Which is fine. There we go. That's looking good. Let's keep doing the rest. Well, I am glad. We'll like I said, we'll hang out for a little bit longer because this did dry a little faster than I anticipated, and just I want to get to the cleanup stage next, honestly. So let's finish this while we're here with you guys. You know, I may just leave it like this. I kind of like the more natural... Like, this almost feels like it could be a purpley flesh tone. Oh my god, this would have been perfect on Zeb. I mean, Zeb ended up coming out great anyways, but... Imagine. There we go. Oh, Sean, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's definitely a treat, definitely not a trick. Thank you so much. All right, we got this one sleeve. Just looking pretty solid. Go. We'll definitely need to do some cleanup on those teeth, but that'll be fine. I'm sorry, on his teeth. And then last but not least, his back again. Yeah, I really actually like the dark, like the depth that has gotten. And it's a little bit more red. I might leave it. I might end up doing something else with it. I might leave it. I haven't fully decided. Oh, I need to do the underside. Actually, they're looking pretty good. They're a little dark already, so let's not do too much more. But yeah, that did end up, like, his jacket actually is one of my favorites at this point. Because it feels very natural. Like, it feels intentionally dyed, but then, like, not with the deepest purple. In fact, I don't even know if it really super looks purple to you guys anymore. It might just look more brown with, like, a little bit of a pinky tone. But it is on my, like, in my lighting, it's a little bit more purple. Monster Mash is also a great one. Just not one of my, like, all-time favorites, you know? Like, I definitely have it on my Halloween playlist. It's just not my, like, what do I put on first? Monster Mash is not it. But I do always have it in the playlist. And the same thing with, like, a lot of the sort of classic spooky songs, and also the ones that are just like about sort of spooky things without even actually being really spooky, but are even like vague references to it. So no problem. Ryu, no problem. Thank you for being here and hanging out with me while I stream. You are having perfect timing because I just finished the last bit of what I was going to do, and I do think now we're officially going to call it. So thank you all for hanging out with me today. I will see you tomorrow for whatever horror game I decide to play. It might end up being Alan Wake 2, like I said, just because it's getting rave reviews and it looks amazing. And it looks genuinely spooky. So I think that might be what we play, but I'll make that decision and you'll find out tomorrow. In the meantime, I hope everybody has a wonderful hobby night, that everybody gets up to some spooky things tonight and gets, all of that Halloween goodness out through the entire weekend. And I will see you next time. Bye, everybody.